Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Gloria Atta. Welcome. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has reaffirmed the Nigerian Army's unwavering commitment to restoring peace and stability in Benue State and other parts of the country. He made this known during an operational visit to Benue State on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025. On arrival, the Army Chief was received at the headquarters, Joint Task Force Operation Wild Stroke, where the Force Commander, Major General Moses Gara, presented a comprehensive briefing on the security situation. The briefing highlighted key operational achievements, ongoing challenges, and the continued efforts of troops in neutralizing criminal elements, disrupting peace in Benue and neighboring states. Following the operational engagement, the Army Chief proceeded to the Government House in Makadi, where he paid a courtesy visit to the Governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia. In a show of empathy and solidarity, General Oluyede extended heartfelt condolences to the governor and the people of Benue over recent unfortunate incidents that resulted in the loss of lives and destruction of property in some communities. The Army Chief assured the governor of the Nigerian Army's firm resolve to safeguard lives and property within the state. He emphasized the critical need for sustained collaboration among all security stakeholders to achieve lasting peace. He further reiterated the military's commitment to its constitutional mandate of defending the nation's territorial integrity and supporting internal security operations. In his response, Governor Alia expressed appreciation to the Army Chief's timely visit and commended the Nigerian Army for its continued efforts, particularly the strategic deployments of troops to identified flashpoints. He called on the military to sustain and intensify its operations until all threats to peace and security are effectively neutralized.
Thank the Chief of Army Staff who came to the state to commiserate with us. He spoke very closely with all his team on the ground. All of us again spoke, just in some efforts to see what we can do differently to quell all the storms. We continue to hear from those 6 local governments out of the 23, the 6 that are in the hot front lines.
Meanwhile, Pastor Dar Bellow, the EFCC official kidnapped by Fulani bandits in Ado area of New Karu, Nasarawa State, in the early hours of Tuesday, has been released. Bello was released in the early hours of this Wednesday at Nyanya and found his way to his house in Alubo 2. As at noon, when Clearview senior correspondent Eniola Olatunji was in his house, along with many sympathizers, Bello was being attended to by a medical personnel. He, however, said he needed to take a long rest. His wife, who works with one of the security agencies, couldn't say how much was collected as ransom as the bandits refused negotiation with a woman. Before Eniola left, he observed workers in Bello's compound repairing damages done by the forced entry of the bandits. His next-door neighbor, Mr. Eugene, who was also kidnapped, was released on health grounds. Meanwhile, Henry Oshogwe, also known as Boogie, who was killed by the bandits, will be transported to his hometown in Auchi, Edo State on 7th June for burial, in an announcement made by the Alubotu community on Wednesday morning. Leaders of the community met on Tuesday evening at the palace of the Meangwa Mohammed Gambo to rejig the security structure of the community. The community has been experiencing intense quietness since the bandits invaded it at around 1 a.m. of Tuesday. In another development, Residents of Shagari Street in Toto local government area of Nasarawa State have been thrown into panic after a student lodge was allegedly set on fire by a man suspected to be mentally unstable. The incident occurred in the early hours of Wednesday and affected a student's lodge housing multiple off-campus rooms. Clearview News Desk gathered that the inferno reportedly started from the room of a male occupant believed to have lost his mental stability due to prolonged drug abuse. Sources said the suspect set his own room ablaze under unclear circumstances, with the fire quickly spreading to at least 5 other rooms in the building. According to a student identified as Joy Ndukwe, no lives were lost in the incident, as all the other students occupying the affected rooms were said to have traveled at the time of the fire, but personal belongings and household items were completely destroyed, as nothing salvaged from the affected rooms. As of the time of filing this report, emergency responders had not officially commented on the incident, but local residents confirmed that the entire building was completely razed down by the time the fire was brought under control. Now, former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amichi has said he will not descend so low to the level of a child by trading words with the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike. Amaechi, who served as Minister of Transportation under the immediate past administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari, made the comment while speaking in an interview on national television, stating that the FCT minister was once his chief of staff and was not up to him politically. Amaechi, at his 60th birthday last week, claimed that like many other Nigerians, he was hungry, a comment which Wike dismissed, saying it was a ploy for him to get political relevance, adding that the former governor was only hungry for power. Recall that in 2021, Wike said he made Amaechi a governor. The FCT minister then claimed that God used him to make Amaechi a governor, adding that he even had a tape to back up the claim of where Amaechi said he was next to him after God. Wike accused the former governor of going on television to call him his former staff. Meanwhile, a suspected rapist on Tuesday confessed that cold weather lured him into attempting to rape a university female student in Osun State. The 25-year-old man disclosed that he barged into the room of the 17-year-old 200-level student of the Federal University of Health and Science after she declined an attempt to speak with him. According to the suspect, he was in the student's area because his uncle asked him to park his motorcycle at the house. However, Osun Amotekun Commandant Adekunle Omoyele said the suspect was later arrested at a hideout after a complaint was made at the Amotekun Command in Ila, adding that investigations have shown that the suspect had sometime raped one of his siblings and was beaten severely when caught and will be arraigned in court. Now, actress Mercy Johnson has finally announced her intent to address the ongoing conflict with Angela Okor publicly. Mercy took to her Instagram story stating that she will address the issue this Wednesday. The statement follows a series of public exchanges that have stirred attention within the Nollywood community and among fans. The tension stems from Angela Okore's recent Instagram live session on Tuesday, where she claimed that her colleague, Mercy Johnson Okoje, is battling a serious illness, one so severe she wouldn't wish on her worst enemies. She stated that she has forgiven Mercy after learning she was seriously ill. The feud has also drawn in other Nollywood figures, notably Regina Daniels, who fiercely defended Mercy. Recall that Mercy had earlier briefed Nigerians on the state of her health. However, the actress stated that she is very well. A professor of disaster management and humanitarian studies, Professor Christopher Chikudumuje, has reacted to the recent loan request by the federal government, calling on President Bola Tinubu, state governors, and members of the National Assembly to end what he described as Nigeria's dangerous dependence on borrowing to fund governance. He made the call in an open letter titled "Stop the Borrowing. Nigeria must breathe on its own," addressed to President Tinubu, governors of the 36 states of the Federation, and members of the National Assembly. Speaking with Clearview News crew, some Nigerians on the streets of Abuja bare their minds on Nigeria's increasing debt profile.
Reacting to the loan request by the federal government, some Nigerians are of the opinion that the country's economy is at its lowest and borrowing will put more pressure on citizens.
In fairness to the government, every government, all right, is free to borrow, to support the budget, to support development. But considering our situation, are you hearing me? Considering our situation, I don't think it's fair to borrow now. People are suffering. Are you hearing me? The value of Naira is at the lowest. If somebody loses his car now, he cannot replace it again. Are you hearing me? The cost is skyrocketing. So if you borrow, the condition is sometimes they will say they want to devaluate our Naira. Do you understand? And then they want to also give us some condition.
We can run the economy without taking loan because other African countries are doing it. Let's take, for instance, Burkina Faso. The African country, they were struggling before the inception of this current president. I think he paid off all the external loans. And if we will be sincere to ourselves, the other time the presidency were saying they've paid off external debts. So I don't know who we are deceiving. So what's the essence of borrowing, and we cannot even feel the impact?
Okay, the president taking a loan from either the IMF or the World Bank is not my issue. My issue is the use of the money. I mean, in Nigeria we've had instances where previous governments have been taking loans and there's no infrastructure, there's no development that is commensurate with the loans that have been taken. And as much as you want to give the administration a benefit of the doubt that they want to embark on some key projects, what is the concern of Nigerians is that some of the ostentatious lifestyle of our politicians is not, it doesn't reflect on the kind of loans that are taken, and these things have adverse effects.
See the one Buhari borrow now carry us enter wahala up to today. If they borrow, we see enter another problem again. Let them no borrow any money.
For now, I don't think Nigeria needs a loan because already fuel subsidy was removed last year. So all the funds that are coming from subsidy, why they're being channeled into, and we have been floating our Naira, so we have more money. So why are we taking loans? And taxes have been increased over the last 2 years. So all these funds, where are they going to? Nigeria, we're not seeing this money in any aspect of the economy. So for now, I don't think we need a loan.
However, other Nigerians are of the opinion that Nigeria can generate what she needs from her natural resources rather than borrowing.
If you run a research, you will find out that over 100 countries we have in the world, Nigeria is one of the wealthiest. When it comes to human resources, when it comes to natural resources, Nigeria is well blessed. If you see what Captain Traore is doing in Burkina Faso, that's exactly what Nigeria needs. Harnessing what we have on ground currently to achieve what we want. Currently, Nigeria is owing over how many billions of dollars? Trillions of dollars, rather. Over how many trillions of dollars currently? We are owing China. In fact, as it stands now, almost everybody in Nigeria owes China some percentage of dollars from whatever the country is owing. And that doesn't make sense. Are we really thinking about the future of our children, the young ones coming up? So we don't need any loans.
It's not about borrowing or taking loans from IMF and the rest. We have what it takes in this country to actually service whatever, be it payment of perhaps workers, government workers and all. We have there are natural resources uncountable, more are still being discovered. So there are different things we can tap into instead of taking loans and all. Agriculture is there. So I believe loan is not a solution because it will keep on going that way till perhaps, it's not my prayer anyway, but from the way things are, the country might just collapse one day.
Meanwhile, a professor of disaster management and humanitarian studies, Professor Christopher Chinedu-Muije, says that failure to act decisively and urgently may forestall more dangers to the nation's economy and its people. Abiola Alafe reporting for Clearview News.
And that's the news. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.